Hey everyone, it's Andy here. Hope everyone's doing well and safe in these difficult times. Today's update is going to be around the unemployment extensions and whether you have to file a claim or not. There's been a lot of questions on the various articles and videos I've posted, and one of the most common questions I'm getting with the new extensions is, will these automatically be applied, or do I have to file or reactivate a claim? So I'll discuss that today. We've got some new Department of Labor guidelines that will sort of help clarify some of the situations, and I'll walk through where you have to file a claim, where it's automatic, or where there's some other action required. As always, if you find the information useful here, please consider subscribing. It's on the bottom right or below it. It just helps this channel keep growing and keeps me posting more of these videos. You can also go to my website, savingtoinvest.com, and there's a whole bunch of articles on the unemployment extensions and stimulus checks. So just to recap on the programs that have been rolled out, there's another video I'm going to show up here. You can go look at the details, but all the extensions in place right now are for 11 weeks. December 27th, December 26th was the expiry date of the previous programs under the CARES Act. So December 27th is now the date I'm seeing be used everywhere, but it's basically the week beginning December 27th to the week beginning March 14th for the extensions of these programs. There is a small phase-out period until April 5th, 2021, the week beginning for any people with active claims as of March 14th, but weeks remaining to claim. Those are just to help cover some of those people who may have started getting PUA or PEUC later on. So it allows 3 or 4 weeks to agencies to make final payments and use up existing weeks. Again, this is only for phasing out. It's not for any new claims, and you won't be able to get the 300 supplementary payment during the phase-out period between March 14th and April 5th. So everyone should be familiar with the new enhanced unemployment payments. And again, the video, you can see more in a separate video I did on these. The 300 weekly payment is basically starting from the week of December 27th. It is going to take a couple of weeks to roll out. So some people are seeing it on the state tracker I have for this link below. Some states have already said they'll start paying it from the week of January 3rd. So it'll be retroactive to the following week, but you'll start seeing this paid on top of your regular unemployment, PUA, PUC, or extended benefits, or regular state UI. You have to be getting at least $1 from these programs to get this $300 payment, but it will be added automatically to those payments if you qualify and have certified for that given week. And then PEUC and PUA, Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation and Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. The first one is for extending people who get regular state UI. And then PUA is for freelancers, gig workers, those who didn't qualify for regular unemployment. This was introduced as part of the CARES Act, and both of these have basically been extended. Again, these extend regular benefits. They're paid at different rates depending on the states. For example, PUA is paying at 50% of your weekly benefit amount in a given state. PUC uses unemployment calculations. So it does differ, and it's important that you're in the right program because it can make a difference in payments. These are extension of regular benefits, and these are probably the two biggest programs. And if you get one of these, you'll be getting the supplementary payment on top of that. So those are the three big unemployment programs that people are probably most concerned about. And I know a lot of people have been getting questions. Well, I see it in my unemployment portal that I've got extended, but I see 0 in my claim balance, or vice versa, or some people are seeing nothing. Again, every state is different and rolling it out differently. The Department of Labor have issued guidelines, and I'll show these to you, just show here. So the guidelines here from the Department of Labor, I'll post the links down here. It's definitely a lot of reading, and I've tried to synthesize it over here in this PowerPoint. So you'll see the guidelines, and I've summarized this in several different articles, but you'll see it talks about the extension. It talks about when it's retroactive to, what's covered. For example, pandemic unemployment is not going to be, all these payments are only effective in the extension period, December 27th to April 5th with the phase-out period. But then some of these are not retroactive, and some of these only retroactive to December 1st. And there's a whole discussion on that, including extended benefits and those kind of things. What I liked about this Department of Labor, it did actually have a couple of good nuggets in there, which does give guidance to state agencies on what to do for the different unemployment programs and what notifications need to be sent. And this is basically what allowed me to figure out what action is needed in these situations. Now, again, I'll say, like any of these videos, It's mainly informational. It's based on information I have as of the time of recording this video. Things are changing. Some states roll it out differently. Some states are more efficient, some are not. I do have a state tracker for tracking that, but these actions I've got are based on what I've seen from the Department of Labor guidelines. And in most cases, like the first payment of or the first round of these unemployment benefits, it was pretty accurate. So when do you have no action needed for these unemployment programs? And this is basically, those people who have existing or automatic claims and or existing applicants, and do they need to take any action to keep getting these extended benefits? So the first one is if you're actively filing for PUA and you've had no previous PEUC claim. And so if you have the situation, which basically means that you still have weeks left or balance left and you don't have a previous PEUC claim, and this is important because you have to first use up all your existing benefits, PEUC, then only you can apply for PUA. So if you're actively filing for PUA, then nothing needed. It'll automatically be added to your balance. You'll get the extra weeks. Payments may start a week or two late, but you will get them. There's no action needed from you. And you should get a notification from your state or on your UI portal that this is happening. Again, give it a couple of weeks. Call up your agency if you get stuck, but there's no action needed for you. They should automatically roll over, and any existing weeks will carry on. If you're already actively filing for PEUC, then again, no action required. So this is for those people who were getting state unemployment. There may be a new benefit here, so that'll actually carry over. But the guidance is to keep using PEUC, and then if you run out of that, then you go to PUA. You can't go and straight away file for PUA if you qualify for regular unemployment or PEUC. That's been a guideline for a long time. Pandemic unemployment assistance is truly for the final resort of unemployment. So the Department of Labor is saying you have to go through your regular unemployment, PEUC, and then PUA. If you're also getting extended benefits, the guidance is that you keep getting extended benefits, then you shift to PEUC, and then you shift to PUA. So again, if you're actively getting these, you have a claim balance, you have weeks, just keep doing your normal filing certification, and you should keep getting the extension of benefits till for the coverage period. And then if you have no action needed if you're going to get the $300 FPUC payment. If you're eligible, means in either the PUA, PUC, or extended benefits, or regular state UI, if you just recently lost your job, you will get the $300 payment as well. So that should keep continuing. No action needed for any of these three things. And again, I have articles for all of these, and I'll post that in the links in the description below. And I have to do the reminder, if this information is useful for you, please consider subscribing to keep getting updated articles on these and other topics related to stimulus, taxes, and making money. So the bigger one is where you do need to make actions. And in this situation, there are a few things that you will have to actually take an action. And again, this is where the action will vary state to state. Some states are efficient, some are not. But you will need to take some action. So definitely keep an eye out, check your emails, check your notifications. You will have to do an action because these payments will not happen automatically. So one is if you're actively filing with a PUA claim with the previous PEUC claim. So under the new extension legislation, you will need to reactivate your PEUC claim, and that means you'll have to reapply for it, and then if that runs out, then you go back to PUA. And again, this is a new requirement by the Department of Labor that you have to use a PEUC before you go to PUA. So if you have an active claim with PUA and your State Department thinks you're eligible for PEUC, and not everyone is, it all depends on your previous work history, and some people won't even be eligible for PEUC, they may ask you to recertify or reactivate your claim so they can do a verification. Again, keep a very important check on your state agencies. You can check back to my website. I'll keep posting updates, but this is one situation that I think is going to get a lot of people if you're not careful with this. Your state agency should make the determination, and some will be proactive and send you an email to say your unemployment program has changed, but this is something that you need to be monitoring. If you've exhausted your benefits earlier, or you're no longer filing because you got a job or you had part-time unemployment, you will actually need to reactivate or submit a new claim. This is important for those people. I know a lot of people have been asking, if you finished off in November or early December when you used up your original 39 weeks in some states where there was no extended benefits. You cannot get retroactive payments for the extension payments. That's only from December 27th, but you can go backdate your payment to December 1st. And if you do have some claim balance, for example, if you get into another program or your state had extended benefits, you may be able to get some back payments up to December 1st, but you can't backdate your claim behind December 1st. So that's also part of the new legislation, which you'll see in the DOL guidelines. But if you're a new claimant, or you haven't got anything after December 27th, when the new program started, you will need to reactivate or submit a new claim through your state UI agency. And every state, go to their state UI portal, Google it, search for it. I have links as well below here. You will need to reactivate or submit a new claim. And then there's a new earning called the $100 mixed earnings compensation payment. And sorry, just got cut off here, but this is a new payment that's part of the new legislation to support those who qualify for PUA and PUC, but because of some salaried income, they got the lower amount of unemployment benefits. This $100 supplementary payment was to address that gap. Now, this is an optional program the states can opt to choose into. I think lots will not choose to do it. So you need to just monitor this, but this is something your state agencies, when guidelines are published, you'll have to go back and apply for that. And there's not much released on that, but it's going to work sort of like the $100 optional LWA payment, which only 2 states or 3 states actually rolled out. So this is going to be an extra payment for those who get PUA, but because it's less than what they could get through PEUC, they get this $100 supplementary payment. And I'll have a full article on that in the links below. Finally, I just wanted to quickly touch on this slide. There's a lot here, but I think it's important to just highlight some of the key dates. And this is from one of the articles I wrote from the Department of Labor guidelines. I've tried to simplify it a little bit here, but essentially, you have to be aware these extended benefits, are only aware for those 11 weeks, but because these are extension of existing programs, you need to be aware of the entire program. So PUA claims filed on or before December 27th, think of, active claimants getting UI benefits as of December 26th, because I know some people ran out, and the state haven't updated their unemployment systems. If you have an active agreement, there's no action needed. You'll get the 11 weeks. You'll go through March 14th for the official end date, and then you'll have an extra few weeks of threshold. That's the one I mentioned, from April 5th to the week ending April 10th. You'll be able to use up any extra week. So that works out well. Some people will get to use all their 50 weeks, even if they, go past March 14th. Again, and you can't put a new claim after March 14th, but you can use up some existing claims, which is about three weeks for a lot of people, which is a nice extra amount to have. Anything past that date will have to require a new stimulus packet under the Biden administration. So there's a situation where if you have PUA claims after December 27th, so this is where claimants have exhausted existing benefits, and this is going to be essentially where, sort of for new claimants mainly, but there is going to be situations where you have some claimants who had exhausted benefits under program, but they may qualify under a different program. So they can go back, they can backdate their claim to the beginning of December, which is effective for the week December 6th, but they'll still only get the 11 weeks payment from the December 27th date. So this is a slightly different situation, but as I discussed earlier, this allows up to 3 weeks of backdating. PEUC, so again, this program started back in March 28th, 2020 under the CARES Act. This is now 24 weeks with the extension. So again, this is pretty straightforward. You can't get backdated or retroactive payments for this. You'll get it from the coverage period, December 27th to March 14th. That's pretty straightforward. And then 300 FPUC and also the $100 mixed earnings credit. These are both supplementary payments. That means they're above and on top of regular unemployment PUA or PEUC. This will go from December 27th to March 14th. Those are the key dates, as discussed earlier. You won't have to take any action for the 300 FPUC, but you will have to submit for the $100 mixed earner compensation when or if your state rolls it out. So this is a quick recap of the key dates. I know I've gone pretty quickly, so I'll post the article which has more discussion on these. And as always, please subscribe and like the video below if this was helpful to you, and leave a comment, and I'll try and get back to you with any more questions. Thanks.